Hi everybody, welcome back to Jenny's Allotment Garden. I'm Jenny, it's great to have you with me today. Now, I am at the small allotment in the park. I've got a couple of things to do today, but I've arrived and unfortunately it's just started raining. It's kind of one of those overcast days with like showers on and off. I'm hoping that it's going to stop in a minute so I can get out and get some work done. I have picked up a new compost bin, which is just behind me in the car here, so I want to get that put in, and I've also got like one of the beds that I want to clear, and one new thing that I want to get planted as well. So I'm just hoping to get like a little bit of tidying done, really, a few bits and pieces, and I will bring you along for the journey. So if it does stop in a couple of minutes, I'm going to get out and we'll get on with it. See you in a minute. Okay, so it has actually stopped raining, thankfully, so it means I can get a little bit of work done today. I've been having a bit of a think about what to do with this little plot of land, mostly because over the season it just doesn't really get enough sunshine. So lots of the things that I've wanted to grow I've really struggled with because they just haven't had enough hours of sun throughout the day to be able to produce any fruit. I know, I think last week I put some leeks in. They should be fine because they're quite a long season crop. They're okay with about, between 4 to 6 hours of sunshine a day, which we do get when the weather doesn't look like it does today. But one of the things that I planted this year that really just didn't work at all was onions. So I planted some red onions, but they really struggled for two reasons. The first thing was the birds. All these trees here, yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous, but there are lots of birds in them. And in particular, we have tons of wood pigeons here, and they just basically pecked out all of the tops. So they really struggled to get going, but then even when they did, they were just really shaded out. Once the trees filled in, basically once it got to the end of March, beginning of April, and all that new foliage was just full in the trees, they really struggled to get enough sunlight. So I've been thinking about sort of what I could do with this space that would make it more useful, so that I could still grow things in it, but having a think about the type of crops that would really do well here. The other consideration is that it's about a 25-minute walk from my house. It's a nice walk because it's a walk through the park, but even so, it means that it's probably a place that I come to slightly less regularly, just because I've got to get in the car, really. A 5-minute drive around the corner, it's not very far, but I think because the other plot is basically a 5-minute walk, I'm much more inclined to nip to that allotment space than I am to come here. So what I'm thinking of doing is, over the winter months, I'm going to clear this area and I am going to start planting some perennials. Now, one of the perennials that I've wanted to grow for ages is oca, or New Zealand yam. And I did have a look. It can be a little bit expensive actually to get tubers for it, depending on where you're looking. You can get them from all over the place. But this week, I was just sort of browsing through Gumtree, as you do. In fact, that's where I picked up the new compost bin as well, and found a lady that was selling oca tubers for £1. So basically last year she grew oca from one tuber. She said she got about 50 tubers out of it. And then this year she's just selling each of them for £1, so she's got loads. So I've picked one up. So I'm going to clear a little bit of ground today and I'm going to pop that in and see if it does a little better. I am popping it nearer the sunny end of the plot. I'm hoping that it'll get enough light there. And if it does, what I will do is probably in November, December, when I dig up the tubers, I will keep a few back. So probably 4 or 5. Back to replant in the same area next year so that I can keep a continual crop of oca in the same place. So we'll see how it goes. So let's go get some digging done. So this is the range of onions that I grew this year. As you can see, they range from a small onion to absolutely tiny. That one at the end is barely grown at all. And they were all grown in this same bed, this same little bed here. Interestingly, the smallest ones were the ones that seem to get the most sun in terms of the way the sun moves across the bed. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I think what I'm probably going to do is next year, well, actually probably the end of this year, when I order some onions, I am going to look for some short day onions, onions that don't need as long in the sun in order to thrive, and see if they do any better. But in fairness, I'm probably going to plant them at the other allotment as well, because I don't think there's very much point in putting them in here considering the amount of shade that I get. So this is the little ochre plant that I'm going to plant in here, and I'm going to just use some comfrey to mulch the bed, just because, as you can see, I've got this massive space of clear open ground, perfect for weeds. So yeah, I'm going to cover that as well, put some mulch on it so that we can at least manage the weeds a little bit and also feed the soil at the same time. So I'll be back in a minute. Here's my little ochre plant ready to go, and I've surrounded it with quite a thick mulch of comfrey leaves. They'll rot down really quickly, like less than 2 weeks usually, but while it's getting going, it will hopefully stop any weeds from growing. Although that looks like a little buttercup, doesn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, it's just just one of the ones I dug out earlier. So okay, so here we are, we're all done. I'm not going to water or anything because it's meant to rain again later today, so I'm just going to leave it to do its thing, and hopefully come November, December time we will have some ochre to pull up. So my other job to do for today is to thin some carrots, so let's go do that. This pallet collar raised bed is just doing amazingly well. So I've got some fennel at the front, and then a large bunch of carrots, some beetroot. Yeah, I'm not really sure what variety it is. I think it's probably Boltardi. And then right at the back over here, we've got some perpetual spinach, which I've been harvesting for absolutely ages. It's just doing really, really well. But I just want to show you this fennel. If you have a look here, it's starting to bulb up, but actually I've got a couple where, look, I've got two together, and I've obviously unintentionally dropped 2 seeds into the hole. So I'm not going to pull it because I don't want to, I'm not going to pull it because I don't want to pull up the roots of the other one. So I'm just going to use a little set of snippers and snip one of them, well, the smallest one off. So I've just got that one, and then this one over here as well. So I'm going to snip that one off, and then I am going to get on with thinning some carrots. Okay. Planted a couple of different sets of carrots in this bed. They're only really short rows, just because they're width-wise, and this is not a very big bed. But I've planted 2 rows of rainbow carrots that have like a purple one, a yellow, a white, and one which is a bit redder. And then I've also just done, but yeah, actually, I mean, it's just some orange carrots. I don't even know what variety they are, but it doesn't really matter. I do really like the rainbow mix, not so much because it tastes good, although it tastes perfectly fine, but more because it's just something fun to do with the kids. They like having different coloured carrots on the plate. It's just, you know, something fun that you can do, and it's just nice to have something a bit more interesting every so often when you are having something to eat. I am trying to be a bit more conscientious about actually thinning my carrots out so that the ones that are left behind can grow a bit bigger, but I'm not brilliant at remembering. And I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't, just because it was a really, really hot day, and I'm trying to avoid getting carrot root fly on my carrots. It's probably not that likely with a bed this high anyway, because it is quite raised from the ground, but I'd rather not tempt fate, as it were. So I waited until it was a bit more overcast, not as hot, a little bit rainy, because I know that that will help to stop the smell of the carrots from spreading too far. It is one of our favourite foods to eat, to be honest. So I am going to plant some more, I think, at the large allotment. Although because I've only just done the vegetable beds there, I am going to do those ones in some pots that I've got. So I've got some really big fabric pots I think they probably hold about 20 litres, maybe a little bit more than that. So I'm going to do them in pots for this year, but next season, because the ground will have been sat there for a while and been prepared already, I will do them in the ground. But for now, we'll do them in some pots, and I think they should turn out just fine. So we've not done too badly today. I've even managed to pick up some windfall apples off our communal apple trees. So yeah, I'm gonna nip home, see what we can make of this. We've got some beetroot, some spinach, some fronds from the fennel as well, and some of those gorgeous little teeny tiny carrot thinnings. So yeah, not bad for a quick trip to the plot today. So I hope you enjoyed the day at the plot with me. I'm going to go home and see if we can rustle up something to eat with what we've harvested today. I am really pleased about the apples. Actually, they're not apples that I've grown anyway. There are 4 communal apple trees in the middle of the site by the park, which is just amazing actually, because I definitely couldn't grow apples on my own plot. It's really just too shaded already. But you know, you can still grow loads of stuff even if, like me, you are stuck in the shade. I'm really looking forward to changing that plot over to more perennial vegetables. I think it'll actually make it a bit easier for me to manage it, just because they won't need quite as much care and attention, at least not regular care and attention. Once they're established, they'll just keep cropping, which will be great. And I spoke to one of my plot neighbours, Mike, who is growing some raspberries, some red currants, and some gooseberries. And he has said to me that in particular, the gooseberries do just fine. And his plot's pretty much got like the same amount of shade as mine, but he said the gooseberries do really well. The other fruits, they do crop, just not like huge amounts. I think that's probably okay. So I might think about putting some fruit bushes in part of that section as well, since I mean I've already got all those blackberries and they are just about to turn ripe. So I'm hoping later in the week, or maybe the beginning of next week, I should be able to collect some of those. But I think it'd be quite cool to have some other fruits as well, so I'm going to give that a go. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do press that subscribe button. It would be great to have you with us, and do leave a comment below. I'd love to say hi to you, and if you like this video, press that thumbs up like button, and I will see you this time next week. Take care. Bye bye.